Hey everybody, Brandon here. So I'm back out in the little camp trailer here, and I got my air turned on. I tested it to see how it was going to sound, and it seems to be doing okay. I got my dogs out in the front yard, so I hope that they don't, uh, bark too much or whatever. But so, anyways, yeah, I just wanted to make a video. I got thinking a little bit today about my life. I was talking with my brother, he's 3 years younger than I am, and of course with my birthday coming up this Sunday, the 17th of May, I will be 52, and I also have a daughter who was born on May 17th, 2001. But we kind of had a falling out, unfortunately, and I hope one day I can reconcile with her. That is one of the things I'd like to do. But anyhow, so yeah, in this video, I guess what I'm talking about is how life can get away from all of us, and how, when you're growing up, you have all of these ideas, right? And of course, when you're young, you're very indecisive. I feel pretty confident in the fact that most of us have probably done this. You're gonna be a cop, you're gonna be a singer, you're gonna be a construction worker, a doctor, a celebrity, an actor, whatever it may be. For me, when I was a kid, sorry, this piece of hair is driving me insane. I apologize. But for me as a kid, I want to say the first thing that I can clearly remember thinking that I wanted to be was a cop. I was going to be a cop. I was going to go after the bad guys, but of course, growing up, life throws curves and things don't go how we planned, and that's kind of what I'm. The topic is here. Is it can be hard, I won't lie. Since my house burnt down, and I've had to start over. I've had a lot of time to reflect, and life is a challenge. Every day is a challenge. I was married for the first time. Well, first let me talk just briefly about my childhood. I have four brothers, two older, two younger. I was the middle child. My name is Brandon Carl, and I was named, the Carl came from my grandfather, my maternal grandpa, my mom's father, was named Carl. And I grew up just a stone's throw away from where I'm making this video right now, in a log cabin that my dad built with his own two hands. And I'll admit, growing up wasn't the easiest life. My dad was a blue-collar construction worker, and my mom, for the most part, was a stay-at-home mom. There's a few times she worked as a nurse's aide at a care center in a town that's not too far away. But we were poor, and we struggled a lot of times for the basics. But the funny thing is, I talk about this with my brother all the time. Even though we were poor, even though there wasn't a lot of love in the house, my parents weren't the kind of people, they just weren't, they were boomers. My dad was a hard worker. He wasn't the kind of guy that really gave two craps about how your day went at school or what you were involved in. Basically, he got home, took a shower, a lot of times dropped into his easy chair and smoked cigs and drank beer and watched TV until the next day, and I don't blame him for that, but without getting into that too much, I definitely know it would have helped to have some kind of a role model growing up. I didn't really get that from my older brothers, which I don't blame them. I love them to death, but they were in trouble. They were getting in fist fights. They influenced me a lot. I got in a lot of fist fights. They were sent to a group home. I was not, fortunately. I actually ended up, if you can believe this, for nearly 11 of my adult years, from about the age of 25, 26 till I was about 37, I worked at a therapeutic boarding school for troubled teens, and I was actually a youth counselor. And I enjoyed that job, and I'd done well enough that I became what they call a team leader, and I was able to work with some really neat people there. But we'll get into that another time. But so I didn't have a lot of guidance, I guess would be the word. And I ended up dropping out of high school in the 11th grade. I wound up getting married and having my first son. A lot of guys say, I had my first child, but you didn't have anything. The woman had the child. But I became a father and was given my first son when I was only 19 years old. I was 19, she was 17, 18 and 16 when we met. I was young and stupid and hot-headed and controlling, and it didn't work. And then I went on, I got married a second time. That's when I was working at the youth home that I just told you about. That one was maybe 4 years after the first one. So it's not like I rushed into it as far as finding someone, but I did rush into the marriage. We were only together about 6 months, and she was pregnant. We got married, and 6 months after that, we were already done. She was a city girl. She always wanted to go to the city. That was not something that I wanted to do, and I had 2 kids already from my first marriage, so I didn't want to leave where they were at here in the country, where I live. And then my third wife, I was 32 when I met her, and 33 when my final son was given to me in 2006. And so anyways, marriage after marriage, I failed job after job. I did get the youth counseling job that I loved, and I worked it for, like I said, almost 12 years. But they wound up going out of business. I got a bad back. I've had several back surgeries, and they worked with me. I really enjoyed that aspect. But I also worked with equine horses, hospice horses, with these troubled teens. We would have them bond with these horses. It was pretty amazing to see. I'll have to do a video talking about that sometime. But really quick, because I don't want to go too long and I want to get back to the original topic. All these things growing up in a not so nurtured way, making very poor choices when I was young. And it's hard because one day you find yourself in your 50s and you take a look around, and it's just hard to accept that your life turned out. I didn't see it going like this, I didn't see wealth and riches and success, which, I mean, in this world, there's a lot of that. As a matter of fact, there's people that get successful just on these YouTube channels, and they have millions of subscribers and they make good money, I'm sure. And that would be a dream. That would be phenomenal. So like and subscribe, please. No, but seriously, yeah, if anybody out there is going through this, they know what I'm talking about. Reach out to me anytime you want. And also, I want to say, and I'm not afraid to say it, my email is Brandon, my name, so that's Brandon, Brandon, all lowercase, C, because that's my middle initial, so Brandon C, Allen, Allen, Brandon C. Allen, 7, at gmail.com. That is my email. If anybody ever sees this in the ether out there, they want to communicate with me that way, I welcome that as well. But anyhow, so I'm sure there's a lot of people out there like me. You look around one day and it's hard to accept the fact that this is it, and I know people will say, oh, you're still kind of young, you're only 52, and life is full of possibilities, and there's so many things, and I try not to be a negative kind of guy, but I'm a realist. I consider myself a realistic person, and I understand chasing your hopes and your dreams and all that when you're 20, 25, 30. When you're 52, you're 3 times divorced, you have no savings, no property, you drive a car that barely runs, you live in a camp trailer because your home was lost to a fire, you've been single for 14 years. It's hard not to get down on yourself because you just kind of feel like a failure, But the one to end this on a positive note, one of the things that I'll say is I have learned to just live one day at a time, and I know that gets overused a lot or whatever, but I seriously believe today is all that we really can control. I might quit breathing in my sleep and I might not even be around tomorrow. And I just want to say that each day I do at least recognize that each day is a huge blessing. And that this moment, right now, today, and this very moment is all that we can control. So I just try to focus on the moment, the day, and try as hard as I can to get the best out of that day and that moment and that time. And it's helped me. It has helped me. But I still have my days, no doubt about it. But I still believe deep down somewhere there's somebody for me out there in my later years in life. And I look forward to my grandchildren growing up and seeing, how their lives progress and things like that. So I'm going to cut it for now. I do realize that I want to start maybe making some of these videos. I'd say 15 to maybe even 20 because the 10-minute format ain't quite working for me. I'm not quite getting where I want to be, but I'm just working this thing out. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, so just bear with me. I don't even know, like I said, I tested it before I started recording, but I don't know. Having that error in the background may or may not be something that was wise. If it's been loud or annoying, I apologize, and I'll correct that in the future. So this is Brandon for Still Standing Somehow. Have a Live in the now. Live in the moment. Take care.